his daughter. Anybody who knows me knows that's just Travis. Anyways, I'm coming back to you guys with another CB story. Does anybody remember when I started a series that ended up being 1 episode long called CB Stories? How about comment if you actually remember that? Because if you drop a comment and you really remember that, you've literally been with this channel from almost the beginning. Like when your boy had beard, right? When your boy had beard game going on. So yeah, comment if you remember that, because I mean, golly, dude. So, CB Stories. I'm coming back to you with another story, with another episode 2 of CB Stories. You know, I've been running the same Cobra radio since Prime, and now I'm a ham radio operator. I just like using the CB. So CB Stories started when me and a couple friends or something were talking about using CBs, and you always have a group of people that don't like using CBs because they're like, man, I don't use the CB because the only type of conversation you hear on the radio is just trash talk and so on. And indeed, yeah, you hear a lot of people just talking politics. You know, they want to talk about their favorite candidate or why they don't like the president. Like, people think they want to hear that for some reason. Or you get people just, you know, using racial slurs. I don't know, they get a kick out of it or something. I don't know, who cares, right? But at times, the CB has been super useful for me. And the stories tell stories of times when it's either been super useful or I just had a good time, had a good conversation. So, this CB story is kind of funny. I thought about it this morning because myself and like drivers that I talk to that work with me actually frequent this area, and that is Palestine, Arkansas. Palestine. I say Palestine because the country. Anyway, that's Palestine, Arkansas. So shout out to Cecil. This is your honey hole. That this actually occurred in that gravel lot where you like to park, right? So here's the story. Travis Kinley's ready to shut down. I don't remember how many hours I had. I mean, this is when I was at Prime. It's a couple years ago. So I'm ready to shut down, man. The day's been long. You know, it's time to call it a wrap, right? Well, I don't know if I'm going east or west, but I see on Trucker Path there's Love's right here, next exit, right? So pull off that exit, and I'm like, it's late. There's probably no parking at Love's, but I'm going to check. And if there's no parking there, I see on Trucker Path, if you just cross the bypass, there's another spot or 2 over there. So I'll check over there. So I check Love's, and if you know Palestine, Arkansas's Love's, I mean, it's small. It is not new by any stretch of the imagination. It fills up super quickly, and if there's any bonus parking, it's small and compact, but if there's any bonus parking, people are going to take that super early too. Don't worry about it. Like, you can almost just don't check. But I checked. So I said, okay, we'll go across the bypass to the other spot that I saw on Trucker Path. Which I'm going to stop saying those words. I'm not going to front with you. I'm going to stop saying the word Trucker Path on my YouTube. But we'll go across the bypass. That's another YouTube video. Why I'm going to stop saying it. So I drove across the bypass. And I see the gravel lot. I drove across the bypass. We're going to stay on topic here. I drove across the bypass and I see the gravel lot. So I turned in the gravel lot, but there's this guy, he's like Indian from India, not the slang word Indian that's from America, like Native Americans. Anyways, I drove across the bypass and I pull in and the guy's like, oh, just give me $10 or whatever. I'm like, come on, man. So I don't have any cash, number 1. Number 2, I don't like to pay to park. It's just not my thing. I've been parking for free for a long time. I don't like to pay to park. It's got to be a rough day for me to pay to park. So I'm like, all right, man, well, I'm just going to turn around and I'll figure something out. So while exiting the gravel, I see a small little gas station across the street. My memory tells me the gas station doesn't even appear to be open. Doesn't even appear that they're open during the daytime. It just looks like real estate. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bet, we'll go check over there. I mean, I'm here now. Let's just check over there too. Right before it's automatic, remember Prime, right before I'm about to take my foot off the brake and hit the accelerator, a voice comes over this very radio. Man, this radio got history, dog. A voice comes over this very radio and says, Prime, I wouldn't pull over here. There's no spots, and if you pull in this parking lot, you won't be able to drive back out until somebody wakes up. Bruh. I was so glad he looked out for your boy. I was so glad he was awake, number one. Number two, I was so glad he looked out for your boy and even said something, even tried to talk to me over the radio, right? Because let's be real, most of us that use CB radios assume that most mega carriers, they don't have CB radios. Now, shout out to all of Prime drivers, Swift, Unite, whatever, Kringlen. Shout out to all of the mega carriers, and you have a CB radio. But for the swath of you that run with megas and don't have CB radios, I just want you to know sometimes we trying to give y'all a tip, but y'all don't have no CB radio. So we like, what can you do, right? So I was so glad he even looked out and tried to reach me over the radio. Just imagine, especially if you're a driver, this was a small gas station. There were a lot of trucks everywhere, but I just thought, man, I feel like I can see one way out, like I can see a way in. Maybe there's some more space like that somewhere. That was my line of thinking. So I was just so glad he hit me up. Just imagine, especially if you're a driver and you know what it's like being in tight situations, stuck, trying to back, gotta start knocking on doors. Imagine pulling in somewhere and now you're just stuck, dude. You're just stuck. You're just stuck. Nothing you can do. You know what I mean? Man, I'd have been like, bro, how can this day get any longer? So, that's CB story of the day. I was just driving, thought about that because I sent the first CB story to some friends. And like, man, let's do another CB story. So, I'm going to check out of here. I'm trying to make some more videos, man. I even got my selfie stick and put it on the dash to remind me to make some more videos. Y'all know I rarely remember that, or I'm just too lazy to go back there and get the selfie stick. That's the real story. But, yeah, man. I'm like, man, I usually don't want to make videos just because I'm like, I don't really have anything to say or talk about or anything, you know. But there are, especially that last owner out video, there are a lot of things that I think, but I don't say. Like why I'm not going to say a certain brand name that I mentioned earlier anymore on my channel. So anyways, but we're not going to do that though. That I'm not going to say. I have lines and limits and filters that are non-negotiable. And that is one. There is no company, brand name, trash talk on this channel. That's for sure. Anyways, I'm going to check out. Miss you guys. I'm going to start talking to you guys a little bit more. Driving just, I got another 165 miles before I get where I'm going. And then we are going to go to Planet Fitness. We're going to go work out. And for YouTube, I decided this right before I turned the video on. For YouTube, we're going to drop by Best Buy and pick up one of those microphones that you see the YouTubers clipping on their shirts and then they hide it a little bit or whatever. And it makes their voice all clear. Your boy's going to do it, I think. I'm going to look online for a Best Buy, or I don't think they have them at Walmart, but I'll look online and we'll see if we can get one. Anyways, you already know what the motto is. Work hard, play hard, sleep hard. Find you somebody you love. I love y'all. Don't forget, it's not about what you believe. It's all about why you believe.